idea I always had towards Ginny that David Yates and I always played on was this idea that she was this warrior.
Bonnie Wright may not have had a lot of speaking time in Harry Potter, but she was always there. So naturally, she's incredibly involved. We're going behind the set of the franchise to see what she was up to. Check it out.
You know, we want to sort of do as much justice to the character as possible.
Number 1. We'd be claustrophobic if we were stuck in a room full of teenagers too. Bonnie loved filming the Dumbledore's army scenes in the Room of Requirements, despite the claustrophobia she was experiencing. She loved it, but near the end is when she started to find there was too many people in the room. But she thinks that was part of the reason she liked it, was a room filled with teenagers just being annoying teenagers. Number 2. This should be a tender moment, but it just feels super awkward.
You just hold him because he needs to be held now.
The director seems to love this shot, but we're not going to lie, the internet finds it just a little bit awkward, and it looks like Bonnie Wright finds it awkward too. But hey, how are you supposed to comfort somebody in this situation? We think it works just fine in its cringiness, thank you. Number 3. Bro-zoned. The only zone worse than the friend zone. Bonnie Wright's friends actually knew about the shared kiss between Ginny and Harry Potter before she ever did. How'd they figure that out? Well, the books, of course. Her friends had a bit more free time than she did to get caught up on them. Approaching the kiss was way more daunting for her than actually doing the scene, though.
It was actually easier than I realised as it went on.
And Daniel Radcliffe found it just a bit odd, since he knew Bonnie since she was like 9 3/4 and Dan was 11. Right? Yeah, that's so weird. It may not sound like a big age gap, but in those formative years, it definitely is. It's like being with a sort of brother or sister. But the whole thing was very professional. After conversations with David Yates and rehearsing with Daniel, it wasn't really awkward at all. And a real off-screen friendship really helped the romance along. She'd said it makes the on-screen relationship make more sense. This idea that we've known each other and, in a sense, grown up together off-screen as well as on. It was quite weird for Bonnie slowly growing into the idea of Ginny and Harry being together because her first exposure to it was Harry was more a close friend of the family.
Just his best friend's little sister that was the relationship.
But the relationship made a lot of sense to her. She believes Ginny represents safeness, belonging, and understanding, and that's why Harry's drawn to her.
She's smart, funny, attractive.
Attractive?
You know, she's got nice skin.
Number 4. The best moment in the movie. Change our mind. Turns out, Bonnie Wright doesn't contain the same kind of crowd silencing yell that the movie made it seem, because it definitely took a little more than a yell to get the crowd silenced.
Shut it!
These Quidditch players needed training. No muttering allowed. Instant pause.
Everyone, please, quiet, please.
Shut it!
Also, we love how take-charge Ginny is in this moment. She most definitely gets it from her mom. Number 5. Growing up, we wanted the Weasleys to be our parents too. But then we remember how Molly Weasley sent that Howler card to Ron, and we think twice about it. The family dynamic is Bonnie Wright's favorite part of the franchise. Understandable, since it is the part she's most involved in. And Julie Walters took the young Bonnie Wright under her wing from day one.
Oh, and Ginny, dear, congratulations on making Gryffindor.
Always saying things with every film like, oh, you were this tall and you were this small. Which, let's be real, we've all been there. It isn't far off from what an aunt or a family friend would say, huh? And that's not all. To understand who's playing her mother figure, she went ahead and watched a lot of the movies Julie Walters was in, which she ended up really intimidated by her on-screen mom after that. Ignorance is bliss in this situation. Number 6. Divine intervention took place here. Bonnie's fondest memory filming the franchise was actually her first day. Being 9 3/4 years old, stood at platform 9 3/4. She remembers not having any lines in the scene, and at the last minute being given just a little one to say.
Good luck.
I felt like I didn't get too nervous because it was just happening in that moment. If Ginny realized she was talking to Harry Potter, then she might have fainted. Number 7. The franchise might have gone full circle, but it feels like Ginny had less to do at the end than at the beginning. They definitely should have let her say good luck again. Seriously, unlike her first scene, she didn't get any lines for her last one. But she did take on the role of the Weasley mama, holding Lily Potter just as Molly Weasley held her, having the entire series come full circle, which she found kind of surreal. By the way, the actor who played her daughter is in her 20s now. Moving on for Bonnie and some of the rest of the cast was a mixed bag of emotions. It meant more free time during the summer, but it also meant not seeing each other all the time. She considered getting a tattoo with a few of her fellow co-stars, including Tom Felton, but the idea just fizzled away over time. Hey, maybe it's not too late. Reunion tattoo, anyone? Number 8. Perhaps they both chugged a bit of the love potion Amortentia. Bonnie Wright and a young Grindelwald, Jamie Campbell Bower, were getting cozy during the filming of Deathly Hallows Part 1. In fact, it's where they met. Within a year of it, they were engaged, but by the time 2012 came around, they called off their engagement, saying that their parting was amicable. That's pretty fair. It happened so fast, and they were so young and of a different time period. We mean their movie personas. Did you know Jamie is the only one to have reprised his role in the Fantastic Beasts series? Number 9. This scene doesn't look all that safe to us. If you look closely, you can spot that little flame beneath the actors' feet as they hop over them and run. She tells all about her feelings about Ginny being fearless in this moment, just chasing after Harry into the reeds.
And she just runs straight after him, so it shows a sense of sort of bravery she's got.
Well, Ginny isn't the only fearless one, so is Bonnie. Think about it. What would you say if somebody told you they needed you to jump over flames? We'd probably quote the Health and Safety Act. Number 10. Stalkery much? Kidding, it comes with the territory of being a Gryffindor, surrounded by other Gryffindors.
There's no moment for them to really connect.
This just goes to emphasize our point. Ginny's always around in the movies, always doing things, always at the Gryffindor table eating with the rest of her house. Or in this moment, fighting to save it.
They pass each other in the battle and they sort of have different looks towards each other which tell a lot.
All they get is a few glances that speak 1,000 words. Number 11. Much like the Weasleys, Bonnie's family had her back. Bonnie's older brother Lewis, who was reading the Harry Potter books, said that his sister reminded him of Ginny. So she read the first one, fell in love, and then begged her mom Sheila to get her an audition. She had never even considered acting before this moment, but given her family owned a jeweler's, she was already surrounded by artist types growing up, and it was a natural fit for her. Number 12. Don't neglect the flirting. Seriously, those who didn't read the books definitely thought Hermione and Harry were going to end up together. Bonnie would have loved to see more of the relationship building between Ginny and Harry in the movie.
I can stay hidden up here too if you like.
She doesn't have any specific moments from the book she'd like to have included, but she just wishes there was a bit more nuance to the whole thing. What? You mean this isn't nuance? Bonnie Wright was always there. From the time Ginny got to Hogwarts, she was in so many scenes and yet didn't say a word, or if she did speak, spoke very little. Even still, she was a huge part of the franchise. Ginny did marry our titular hero, after all. Are there any moments from the books you wish were included in the movie? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.